Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Craig, this is Mutt's Gear Shack. Today, I'm going to be looking at the mods that I did on this Silverburst Chibson. Now, if you haven't watched the video where I bought this thing, I got an unboxing video review where I went over all the specs on it and did a playing and sound demo on it. So check that video out, the link will be in the description. So today we'll go over all the parts that I installed on this, and we'll do a stock versus modified sound comparison. So I think it turned out pretty cool. So let's get to the video. All right, I'm gonna go over some of the parts we got for our mods here. I'm gonna start out, we got some real Grover tuners. These came off of Gibson Les Paul standard. I bought these used off of eBay. The bridge I'm gonna be using, this came from a 2006 Gibson Les Paul Studio. I picked this up used off of eBay as well. This pickup here I decided to use. I really like this. I've shown this before. This pickup was made in Scotland by Legendary Pickups, and it's called the Rail from Hell. These things were numbered. This was a limited run on a Facebook group years ago. This is just a fantastic sounding pickup. For a neck pickup, I used to have an old 1980 or 81 Gibson Sonex 180. I saved the pickups out of it when I sold it. That's a really nice sounding neck pickup. This one here is interesting because it takes a certain pickup ring. You can see it's got the two screws on that side and one on that side. This is how that was set up, so I'm going to use in the pickup ring from that, and then I'll use the stock one. I got a Gibson, actual Gibson black selector switch tip. I got some Gibson knobs. This guy off eBay, he wires up these custom wiring harnesses. So it's got Burns pots, 500K pots. It's got a Switchcraft jack. Comes with a new switch and all the cloth wiring, pushback wiring too. So we'll be wiring that in. That would be a huge upgrade. I've also got a new jack plate coming. That didn't arrive yet, but the one that's on it's kind of crappy. So we'll be putting that on too. And I'm going to be shielding all the cavities with the copper foil tape. And I'm putting some of the Ernie Ball Hybrid 9 to 46 slinkies. They're some of my favorite strings now. All right, guys, let's get to it. So the stock bridge on these is just a metric bridge. It's just kind of a cheapie. And the holes are a little bit bigger, so I bought this as a conversion. So you can run the smaller pin bridge, so I can run the regular Gibson bridge. So basically they're just bigger posts that converts it so that you can thread these in and use the small pin bridge on these. So that's kind of a nice mod we'll be doing. Get rid of those cheap looking flatheads. And it's just, like I said, this is a Gibson bridge off of 2006, so it's just a much higher quality piece. Our pickups and our switch. These tuners off. Let's get our real Grovers put on. And I've stamped China on the back of this headstock like I do all of these. And then eventually I stamp this direction copy. That way if it ever leaves my possession, whether it's stolen or I sell it, people will know that this is not a real Gibson. If you know guitars, you know this isn't real just by looking at it. There's lots of tells on these things. The shape of headstock's a little different. This part of the headstock's a little bit more elongated. The open book is a little more exaggerated. And the fit and finish just isn't as good on these as a real Gibson. Although, like I said, I've owned lots of Gibson Les Pauls, and the last new one I bought was a Les Paul Standard. It was a faded series. And when they scraped the binding on the fretboard, they left such a disaster. It was so rough and choppy. I ended up cleaning it up myself with the razor blade. I just couldn't believe that they would let that get out of the factory like that. All right. That was pretty nice looking. Wow. Yeah, they're so much smoother. All right, let's get these pickups out of here. I'll be reusing this pickup ring here, but not the neck one. All right. All right. All right, we're going to use some of our copper shielding tape. Put on the cavity. I'll watch this stuff. The edges are sharp. You can cut yourself. And careful when you peel it off here because it's super thin and it will roll up on itself too. All right, we got our control cavity all shielded and our switch cavity. Some people do the pickup cavities and others don't. We'll go ahead and shield them. And just like that, guys, cut me open. It's extremely sharp. Got Chibson in the neck cavity. Like I said, it's put on the back so it's very evident what it is. All right, shielding's all done. There we go. Looking pretty good. So our wire lead for our neck is super short, so I'm going to do that one first because it's going to be the most difficult. A little bit of solder on the back of this. So you can see we got our couple spots of solder. Like I said, this is going to be very difficult because it's a very short lead. Our ground also is really short, so that's kind of a bummer. Alright, sort out all our wiring for our switch here. pretty good in there, I think. Volume knob. I was going to put the black switch tip on there, but I don't know, I kind of like the way the cream one looks since it's got the cream pickup. Maybe we'll just leave that the way it is. Everybody likes the top wrap, but I definitely like the top wrap. And I add one of the ball ends from a string onto that, because if you don't, the break angle on the string when you top wrap puts it right on the wraps and kind of stresses it a bit. So I learned this from Joe Bonamassa Guitar Tech. And I learned it directly from Joe Bonamassa Guitar Tech. I watched a video and learned it. So there she is, all done. So all in, I'm around $300 for all my parts that I've bought for it, and it's kind of what I figured. You know, you're almost double what you spend on these things. Shipped to my door, I think I paid around $300 or so for this thing. So I put about the same amount into it, but to my ears, it sounds way better, plays better. The tuning now is great with the real Gibson or real Grover tuners. It intonated much better with the real Gibson bridge too. I was having issues with intonation before. The wiring, everything, the pots, there's a lot more taper on these. I like the look of the reflector knobs. I think those turned out pretty cool. And I kind of like the zebra humbucker in the neck. So I think it turned out pretty cool looking. Really microphonic on the neck. Let's see if I can remember what I played so we can match it up to the before. That was our bridge. The middle. Go to our neck. I cut my finger earlier. Kind of hurts to play. Bridge is a lot hotter. I think it sounds really good. It sounds a lot better. It doesn't come across on the GoPro, but here in the room, sounds good to me. I think it looks good, plays good. I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.